What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and it's Tuesday. That means I'm off from work. That means it's time to chat new comics for this week. So before we go any farther, check this out. All right, if you haven't already, and if you're not already, be sure to go ahead and like this video, hit that thumbs up. It helps out a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm sitting at 800 subscribers, so I'm going to be working up the next celebration milestone giveaway-esque thing. So you don't want to miss out on that. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you know when future videos drop, and you'll see what I'll be doing for that. And also, if you haven't already, head over to Instagram and check out loc.pop.addicts. That is a secondary Instagram account that I have where a lot of books are being thrown up there, and they are priced to sell. Put up a lot of Venom stuff the last couple of days, and all it flew out the door because it was dirt cheap. And yeah, go ahead and share this channel out there. Let's get these subscribers a little bit closer to 1,000. Tell all your friends that Fandom happens here and invite them to come hang out and chat. 3 days a week we go live, especially to kick it all off at the end of the week, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. for At Week's End. Let them know that Fandom happens here. So he's back. Here he is. We got Ryan, a.k.a. New Guy, a.k.a. the Cosmic Campfire. He's on mute, but I'm still going to ask him what's cooking.
What's up, man?
Same old, same old, same old, same old. Freaky Louie was up in here right off the bat. Let's do this, people. Yeah. We got Flash by Night.
In all caps.
All caps.
Love the enthusiasm.
Dude, I can just picture his eyes really big.
Right.
Sitting close to the camera. All Freaky Louie style. Love it. Flash by Night, how are you doing? He was talking up that Time After Time image book from last week. He had a video
Time
drop.
Before Time.
That's it. Time After Time was that song.
Everybody does it. I do it all the time too. Time after time.
I just pictured the prom,
that guy.
Senior prom from Smallville. If you're lost and you look, you will find me. Time after time. Love that song. What is going on, Southern Comic Geek? Sold twice. What it do, Pikachu?
I know Steve was had people pretty enthralled with him getting beat at Comic Gories last night, but did you watch what Southern Comic Geek was doing?
I did not. He was on that other channel talking about Valiant, right?
Yeah, dude, it was insane. Like, we all know he has all the books, right? No doubt about it.
Oh,
like,
Jason, yeah.
Yeah, so like everything that he covered, of course he had books for. That was not even the surprising part, though. The like level of depth that he went into and like how concise all that information was. Like, dude's a walking Wikipedia history book for Valiant. It's insane. Just like off the, I mean, I don't know what notes he had in front of him, but there's no way he had all that written down because he sure as heck wasn't reading nothing. It was insane.
No, not just like that song. I didn't know that there's requirements for certain songs. But if you can just hit my IG and send me a list of the sexual orientation requirements per song, that would be really helpful. And just send me your top 10 list so I know how to remain, I guess, heterosexual in 2021 per music requirements. That'd be great. Thank you, Skillet. What's up, Tom? That's perfectly fine, Jason. I know how to troll it as well.
Sexual orientation of songs.
Yeah, I need to know. See, and that's the good thing about trolls. They produce really fun content sometimes. Like the what is it? The Doomsday Clock guy. It's kind of fun talking to him sometimes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
all sincerity, because I mean it makes fun conversation. Trolls need love too, Craig. PJ King, what is going on? See, Jason, he said he's not a troll, so there's no way he's a troll. He said it. He said it.
He did say it.
Sold Twice, man. I love watching his lives he's been doing lately. I don't get to catch as much of him live, but it's really awesome watching him do his thing and watching him draw and just watching the speed in which he's able to do it. I'm like, dude, I would be sitting there like erasing and drawing and erasing and what is up off
Man,
world?
my sincerest apologies. I didn't even know that he was doing lives.
Yeah.
I watched him on. Did he talk to Jason on Slotted Up recently?
We got backup in the chat. And then Soul Twice.
Time after.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, everyone knows that song.
See? Like, great.
It's been
producing great content.
Yeah, long before that. All right, that song was around for years, but then Smallville used it for the song that was playing at the senior prom that Clark barely made it to when he finally danced with Lana, which was a big thing up until that point. So, what is up, TM Nerdy? I was just telling Ryan before we went live to make sure he goes check out the top 10 video you just shared in the chat.
Yes.
Dude, this is a good opportunity.
Yeah, it's the best opportunity for all kinds of things.
What, buddy? Yeah, you can talk to me. You can talk to me every time, all the time. I'm 100% accessible to you, bro. That's what it's called being a dad. So I've got my Soul Twice art right here. So this is the one for my daughter. Like, she goes by her middle name Laura, but her first name is Gwen. And Soul Twice knocked that out of the park. Spider Gwen, that's right, buddy. That's Finza. That's Green Go-Go Power Ranger.
Nice.
You know this one's name? Cool. Harley Quinn, and that's my wife's favorite DC character there. And then Finn's goes by his middle name as well, but his first name's Remy. So we got Gambit.
Oh, nice.
See, there's all the Gambit up there. Got a whole row of Gambit here. He's always been my favorite X-Man. Always. I guess just because of, again, the cartoon in the 90s being a kid. He was like the definition of cool when you were growing up watching that. Whether he was your favorite or not, you still recognize him as he was meant to be the cool one, you know?
Yeah.
He had Rose, you know? She had him, really. I mean, she's the powerhouse in that relationship.
Yeah.
Who wears the back door? Like, who wears the jacket in that
one? Yeah, so Soul Twice is a very talented artist. I watched him recently. I think he was on Jason's channel, Slotted Up 503, or something like that. Man, I remember watching him in an interview somewhere. But yeah, he does really cool stuff. I like how he talked about his process and stuff. He talked about like taking walks and stuff and how important it is because he does like every level of every step of the process, you know? So like for him, he'll like, I think he said he does like pencils and then he'll go like take his dog for a walk and come back to do the inks with like a fresh take on it, you know? And so that's how he injects so much character into those drawings. I think they look really cool and they have a lot of, character within the artwork itself, even though it's a still image, you know? So I just dropped his link. Everybody go subscribe. I think he has like 12 subscribers. That's crazy because that's some fire artwork. So check out his channel. The link's right there. Get it taken care of?
Yeah. Well, I have the back door open half the time when the kids are chill so the dog can come and go. And Finn's like, yeah, the door's open. I'll go for a walkabout. So
nice.
I don't really worry about it at this point. I can, like I was just telling my mom, I can just get up and walk off. You're here. It's all good.
Yeah, I feel like I actually did halfway decent at carrying it too.
Yeah, I could hear you. It was awesome. You plug in Soul Twice. It's always a good thing. I will guarantee you 5,000 subscribers if you support Comic Gate. Well, that's been politicized. This is not a political channel. This channel is specifically for talking about the story content of comic books. So it's outside of our purview even then. Like it's not something that we do here one way or the other. We're here to talk stories in the comic book medium. So we're not the one for it.
Yeah.
Open door dad. That's me.
So what'd you do today? You been running around?
This channel is about Power Rangers, bro. It's a big part of it. I don't know if you were in here, Steve. Let me show this off, Ryan, real quick. I'm sorry. Show Steve.
For sure. No, do it. I'm clearly a fan. I mean,
it's the Soul Twice original art piece for the Green Ranger. He knocked it out of the park. It's absolutely fantastic. Sick. Thank you, Louis. Louis dropped the link for Soul Twice. So I'm gonna go check him out. I'm telling y'all now, like I've watched since I first saw somebody unbox his art and I found him on Instagram. No, I didn't find him on Instagram. Me and him found each other in a live chat, and we were like I was live, I think, on Comic Lounger's channel one night. Soul Twice was in there, and I was talking, and I literally bought and ordered those while I was still alive because like I saw his stuff. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I need one for the whole fam. But I would recommend people jumping on it quick because I've watched him pick up steam and do more and more. And he's going to get to the point where he's going to have to raise his prices because he's clearly putting out stuff. And you that's just the nature of it. So get in where you fit in while you can.
Yep.
You should get out in the community more, Steve.
Yeah, there's a whole video about it.
Yeah, go check out TM Nerdy's channel. He posted a 1-minute video so that everybody can include it in it because it's the whole point of it is for inclusivity amongst people in the community. And it does have a cool point of origin as well. Check it out.
Yeah.
So today, I'm trying to remember what I started my day with. Kind of a chill morning, just hanging out with my daughter. My son demanded to go hang out with grandma last night. And we got out. We ran a couple of errands, hit the local comic shop, went to the post office and mailed out Justin Comics and AOK. And my grandmother has Alzheimer's, and she lives on a pretty busy street with a very steep driveway. So me and my mom got the letter that she needed from the doctor to take to USPS, and so I turned in that letter and have them file it where it's supposed to go and notify her mail carrier so that I can go over there and dig her mailbox up and go move it to the house where she no longer will be near a busy street without her full faculties or walking down that steep hill at her age. So that was actually a big deal. I'm glad that that's taken care of.
Yeah. Okay. Let me drop this link.
There we go. He made an awesome All Might for my daughter too. Yeah, he does amazing work. You are a social justice warrior channel. You have a legal Mexican Marxic Wonder Woman in the background. I don't think that she's any of it. If you can verify that she's any of those things, then we can attempt to have that conversation. But until you can, I feel like there's no point of starting a conversation on a completely false premise. So at this point, no non sequiturs for me, brother. See, trolls are fun.
Yeah.
Because trolls normally lack logic, so it's really, really entertaining for me. Just Soul Twice. What is up, Jason? Hidden Gems, how's it doing? There is the source of the station thing. Oh, yes. Dude, I'm telling you, there's stories. When this is starting to be kind of a trend that I'm hearing from people in different channels and stuff where they're like, I didn't have any Marvel this week, or dude, I strangely enjoyed this DC story. I'm going to check this one out. And their stories are there right now.
But there's two really great points there. Like, man, I've seen so many like headlines and heard so many comments made about DC falling and DC getting sold and stuff, and like new content that just like came out the other day. You know, one of my favorite podcasts, they have pretty much moved away from comic books, and then today they threw in a random comment on one of their podcasts about like if AT&T owning DC is terrible because they clearly don't want to make comics. I'm like, y'all been away from comics a little too long now, because
Yeah.
that's who's selling comics right now. I mean, you got all your indie stuff, but you look at the big two, like right now, DC is selling like hotcakes.
It is. And Marvel is, of course, still spec selling and stuff. But again, just to point out what we just said, this channel, you're going to hear us talking about story content from a story angle more than anything. From a story angle, from a reader's angle, DC is selling more reader copies of books, bar none, than Marvel right now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, oh, 2 months ago, Amazing Spider-Man 55 sold an excessive record number of books for a pre-sale, like not spec
Mm-hmm.
buying. I'm talking about quality of story content.
Yeah. Yeah. DC selling much more regularly right now.
And LCSs are not bad. They don't cater to anything. They cater to shoppers. They are a middleman between a distributor and a consumer. So their job is to get consuming products out. So they don't have an agenda. They don't write the books. Next bad point. I'm waiting right here. God, I love trolls. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to
We
talk about that here in just a little bit, Louis. I got the notification on my phone tonight.
Oh,
It
really?
returns. Superman and Lois returns. Me and the wife just got caught up this past weekend. We were 2 episodes behind. So I'm very excited. It has been a surprisingly good show. Production quality is through the roof. But oh man, it's great. So good.
Is that the one where he has kids?
Yeah, he has
Oh,
Jonathan, but
okay.
where they're doing it a little bit different and original than in the books, he had twins. He has Jonathan and Jordan. So it has a lot of familiar elements, but you're still completely in the weeds and get to enjoy a brand new story. And because of that, it's really not beholden as heavily to source material. They're literally in undiscovered country with it
Yeah.
and loving it.
That's awesome. When does it come off of HBO? I know I saw an ad the other day saying it was leaving HBO Max.
I'm not sure when the exit date is, but I think they just threw it up there temporarily during the break, you
Yeah.
know, just to kind of get it to a wider audience that might not have been familiar with it or necessarily would not like lean towards CW properties.
Yeah.
But I watched the first 3 episodes one on YouTube TV, the other two on the CW free app, and then caught up the rest on HBO Max. I
Mm.
mean, it's really available. Like it's out there, and the CW app is 100% free. You can watch them like the day they come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had an app.
Oh yeah. I think apps have apps now.
Probably.
It's got to be a thing.
I was just having a conversation yesterday with somebody because he was like warning me that I might not hear back from him because he has his notifications turned off. I was like, dude, everybody has their notifications turned off. Like, we as a species raced as fast as we could to put as many notifications in the palms of our hands as we ever possibly could, just to have to turn around and give us a way to turn them all off. So
Yeah.
the whole system is so screwed up.
Yeah, I'm not watching it when it drops tonight by any means. Again, we got kids around here, and not that they make things difficult, but that's not prioritized. Normally, that's what I love about the Friday AM drops or things becoming available in the middle of the
Yeah.
night because I can wake up early on my off days and beat the rest of the house and fire something up and watch it. But with Superman and Lois, my wife enjoys watching it as well. So
Yeah.
we don't rush doing it. We don't make it a task or a chore where it would lose its enjoyment. We just catch it when we can. So we look forward to watching it, but we don't go out of our way. I'm off today, but she's working. She might just want a nice chill night. She knows it's coming. So whenever we're both just in the mood to sit down and actually enjoy it, that's when we'll watch it.
Fast forward to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Mark's like, it was so good. Don't tell her I watched it. So,
Dude,
yeah,
I
this morning we.
look forward to your when you get the opportunity to watch those because MK is on the fence with a lot of people. Myself, my initial watch, I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't until the fourth time I watched it that I was starting to be able to enjoy little elements of it, but no way do I enjoy the movie as a whole still. But Snyder Cut is fantastic. I'm still riding high on that train. I even have something to do with that movie that's going to be included with the 800 subscriber thing I'm doing. So,
You
like
got
I
the
told Ryan,
Snyder cut?
the Snyder Cut. Boom, that's what I like to hear. Hidden Jim says he's works at an LCS and he can vouch for the fact DC is flying off the shelf. At my LCS today, of course, Fortnite's moving fast. Justice League B cover was sold out the day of release. Um, a couple of the Yara floor covers were gone the day of the release.
Yeah, I was there. I hit the main shop at like 10:05. I pulled in, and there was like an exodus of people, man. Like, I guess it was packed in there right at 10 because I pulled into the parking lot at 10:05, and I swear like 6 people came out of their bags and books in arm. I
Yeah.
was like, man, like I
would
guess I'm
never
late.
I would never skip you because I'm triggered as treat. I don't get triggered. That you couldn't trigger me if you tried. I don't catch everybody's comments because I'm going through and they're moving fast, and I kind of click on the ones that are more pertinent to the conversation at hand. But yeah, if when I catch them, I obviously don't skip you. I've been addressing you and enjoying doing it, so don't straw man me. Rock band that ever Skillet, a Christian
Yeah.
rock band. Dude, I know exactly who Skillet is. Mom, do you remember like the Newsboys and Skillet and all those Christian rock bands from the
Mm-hmm.
early '90s? Yeah. So I'm in the South here. I know about Christian music. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually
They
saw
were all the
Skillet
rage at
live in
church.
yeah. Saw Skillet live in Gatlinburg. Used to go to
Mm.
when I was younger, all kinds of youth gatherings and stuff. But yeah. Interesting question here, Ryan. It says DC is selling a lot, but a lot of the buzz is coming from good bat related books. Could Marvel be missing out because Spidey isn't great?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, yeah, but then you also have like so much Batman stuff too.
And I don't think like you might get like spec buzz, but nobody is singing the praises of the stories in Batman. You're like, look, if you're like, there's a lot of good stories
People are
coming out
just
of DC
reading
right
Batman.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are buying Batman. They're buying
Yeah.
these spec books, the punchlines, the Miracle Mollies. I think they skipped over Ghostmaker, but Clown Hunter, they're buying them and chasing those appearances. But in my opinion, without a doubt, we're only 2 issues in, but right now, Batman the Detective is the strongest and best Bat title on the shelf for reading. And I hate to say
Yeah.
this because I was definitely a naysayer, but I'm pumped to read this today. I'm not.
They got you, man. They got you.
They did it. I don't know about Fortnite, but and I was telling my LCS owner today, like I'm sitting there not realizing it, but that's Snake Eyes versus Batman today. I don't think they've ever fought before, not to my knowledge. But I told him I hope this entire book is at least 75% them fighting, and I do not want a
Yeah.
definitive winner. I do not want a winner. Do not. I hope they don't discredit Snake Eyes or the Batman by giving us a definitive winner. I just want to see an epic
It should
fight.
just open like the first page should just be like half Batman, half Snake Eyes, like each like perched up somewhere. It would just like fight down the center of it, and you
Yeah,
flip the page, and they're just like in it, like
that would be perfect. Yeah. So I wasn't like into the premise of it. My LCS owner threw one in my box and I told him I didn't ask for it. He goes, yeah, I just assumed you might want to at least read it so you could talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. And the first issue I didn't mind. The second issue, admittedly, I hadn't read yet because I would use it for a giveaway. But it's all included. If you have the DC Universe Infinite, the streaming service the app they have now, the
they
day it
drop
releases
same
on
day.
shelves, you can read it included in your subscription for that. So I don't think there's any merit for me to keep it polybagged, so I don't know how I'm going to read it yet. Really, just when I go to read it, if it's not in the room I'm in when I decide to read it, I might just go digital. But Sold Twice,
Yeah.
that's what actually broke my heart about the movie. Is I am a Mortal Kombat fan. I'm knowledgeable enough in it that the movie disappointed me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It's like I say about Spanish. I know just enough to be dangerous. Next on that.
Are you producing a Legion cut? Yeah, no.
It reminds me of like the conspiracy theorist that died and went to heaven, and he tells him like God tells him like I can't give you all the answers. He's like I knew it went higher. That's gonna be all the
Yeah.
Snyder Cut fans. Like here's the Snyder Cut, but I know there's more. Now even Zack Snyder is holding something from us.
Yeah, and then he does that crazy stuff like release that photo of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't release it. That looked like it. That almost looked like conspiracy level. Like this picture emerges of Zach holding a phone out. We have a picture of a picture on his phone. Like
Yeah.
it's a little fishy here. This is
Picture
very
in a
Department of
picture.
Truth. Yeah, Nick Spencer is clearly not doing like the fan favorite job on Spider-Man. The property of Spider-Man himself is super lackluster. I think people were upset about the Kindred storyline. They kind of like invested in it and it didn't pay off. And they tried the new suit thing and that spec sold and then it just went right away. But we'll see. Straw man, Skillet was weak. So now he's rebuttaling by attacking the character of one. So insults are an instant sign of a loss in any kind of discussion or disagreement or argument when you go after the individual instead of the argument. So now I actually get to dismiss your stuff, rightfully so.
Whenever you like look, man, I don't know what you're looking for, words or something, how they're connected and related and stuff. You get those images of like word clouds where it's just like a bunch of words inside of a little cloud image.
Yeah.
That's kind of what his comments look like. It's
Yeah.
just like a bunch of random words that he Googled somewhere.
Yeah. Because I feel like there are minis that Marvel is doing well in other books, but I feel like ASM not being good is really. Oh, absolutely. Like if you watch
Mm-hmm.
this channel, you know that the comic vets are regular on here, and Spider Man's his favorite character. Whenever he refers to Spider Man on this channel or in his own channel, he makes sure he points out. And now let's talk about the franchise. He's literally the face of Marvel Comics. Like Spider Man is easily one of the
Yeah,
most
he's the
iconic
Marvel version
superheroes.
of you.
Exactly.
Well, but even more so, look at Fantastic Four Life Story or whatever. Like the hype is real on that book. People are going bananas to get it, and it comes
They
out
don't
what
know
next
Chip's
week
not
or
writing it.
this week?
It comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. But the point being, like, they have some miniseries that people really seem to be digging, just like DC though. Both companies are doing better stuff outside of continuity, in my opinion. And it's interesting to see like 6-8 months ago it seemed like Marvel had all the attention. DC was doing the metal verse thing, and people that were into it were really into it, but then anybody that wasn't really into it was just reading Marvel at the time. And Cates was like really hidden with all the stuff that was leading into King in Black. People were really all about Venom. They were about his Thor run, so they had all the attention for a while there. And then it seems like Future State, everything kind of started to shift around for both companies. And then Infinite Frontier launched in March. And that's all I've heard people talk about since the launch in March is DC stuff. That's when everybody quit reading Marvel.
Yeah. Cates was really just pulling the whole reader market with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Miles does have a
And
title too, but in my opinion, Miles doesn't really have much going on with him right now. I mean, I know they just started the Clone Saga over there, but you're not seeing a lot of people like blowing up about it. And Miles I think his real fandom comes from an audience that might not necessarily be spending their paychecks on reading comics yet. Like they
those
definitely will get there.
Yeah, we always talk about it. Bearded Comic Bros interview, it came up yesterday, there's this point in life, you hit your late teens, you graduate high school, you start to go to college, or you start working, you start to have to establish your life. And for a good like from 20 to 30, a lot of people fall away from comics for a while, but they come back. And I believe that's where the Miles Morales fans are at. They're either really young right now, around like 10 years old or so, or they're like in that point in life where they're kind of away from comics. But I do believe they're going to come back stronger than ever in the near future, you know, in like
I
5
absolutely
years.
agree.
5 years, he's going to be everything that people want.
So we have just got confirmation that not only music is restricted by sexual orientation, but now so are video games. This just in, people. This just in.
I'm pretty sure Fortnite spelled Nite, isn't it?
It's not Fortnite. I know that.
It's
It's
Fortnite, right?
yeah. So he misspelled it on two different levels.
Wow.
So, like video games might be for sexual orientation, but literacy is not. So feel free to hit those literacy classes, and see, we can
Hooked
make
on
jokes.
phonics, bro.
Yeah.
Change your life.
Change your life. What is up? The one and only Chip Getler.
Chip Getler.
All right, so twice, since you're asking, I'm going to go through them. DC Comics does not distribute with Diamond Publish or Diamond Distribution, like most people know, and comic shops are not beholden to releasing DC comic books on Wednesdays. They can release them as early as Tuesdays. So different shops in different places still do things a certain way. I know my buddy's shops in Charleston, they still hold their DCs and release them all on Wednesday with the rest of their stuff. But all the shops here in my town, they do not. They go ahead and put them on the shelves Tuesday and make them available, which is perfect because Tuesdays are my off days. If they weren't, I'd have to change my off days. But yeah, I'll go through it real quick. I picked up that Batman Fortnite 0.3, which, like I said, I'm shamefully excited for because we get Batman versus Snake Eyes. So I'm in on this. I'm not a Fortnite video gamer. It's not on Nintendo 64, so I don't have access to it. But this has been a fun story. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing game changing, but it's just good old comic booky fun, very tropey and enjoyable. That Justice League number 61. So Naomi is going in. I'm excited to get more of this character. I'm not up and up on her, so this is really my first experience with her. I got that Flash 770 with that beautiful Jay Garrett cover, JSA for life. And then I got that Wonder Girl #1, Yara Flor. I'm excited to get back into her story. Really enjoyed it. She was super awesome. And then I did pick up Legends of the Dark Knight, where they're rehashing that older series. And I got that 1 in 25 Mr. Freeze. I would have not even started on this series had it not been. I am collecting these variants. I opened up that can of worms on accident. I test read Batman the Detective with a 1 in 25. And I love the Detective. So I'm reading that, as well as I did get the Joker one of these just because I wanted just the Joker. Didn't need the rest of them. Love the Joker. And that just opened up a can of worms. Now, only one I'm missing is the Batman.
Don't worry, we'll talk about cans of worms in a little bit.
Oh, there's action figures in the conversation? Or
no, not yet. Sort of, not really. Yes.
I like by Miles, but he's akin to Dick Grayson, but Dick has one book. Batman has multiple. Peter Need should do the same if possible. Yeah, Spider-Man doesn't have nearly as many titles across the board, but think back when he was actually being well written. You had like Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Just Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. There's been times when Spider-Man, those were all legit titles that pretty much were running at the same time, more or less. But when Spider-Man's hitting like Batman is, you will see those titles. They'll start popping up overnight just to sell his name on more books. But it all comes in ebbs and flows. He's just not where it's at right now. I think it's a weird reader market for Marvel with the success of the MCU. Like, really, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor were front-facing the MCU, and they killed Iron Man in the movie, so his title's not really doing crazy good, and they relaunched it with Cantwell and Ross doing the covers, and Captain America has been trashed across the board since Coates took it over. So they just really don't have a good stable of writers. Like, they're not bad writers, but for the characters they're writing, they're not a good fit. And then there's no editorial at Marvel, making it not even a necessity to pick up other titles that tie in with other books and stuff. So, Batman Detective, Black and White, and Urban Legends are good. Urban Legends it's not good for the value, though, in my opinion. It's not bad.
Yeah, Urban Legends kind of lost me with the last one. But I
I
like
switched
the
to just
first two
digital.
issues of it. They were good.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. It's just the price point on them. I can't justify it. Like you pointed out, like it's really how you got to go at some of these things. Is it worth? Do they earn your money?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think because this is something I've been thinking about, like why can't they pull off an anthology? I think it's because they try to connect it too much. Like it just doesn't like what makes something like 2000 AD so great is that it's a bunch of stories about a bunch of characters, you know. And this is about a bunch of it's four stories about four different characters that all have to like tie back to Batman somehow, and they're connected to continuity as far as we know. Like I don't they need to just like do some anthology pieces, do like old school style writing, you know, have like Batman and Flash and Superman like all have like these anthology pieces, but do it in the style of like 60s comic book writing or something, you know, where there's not really any continuity and it's just one off with these characters, and any kid can pick it up and they get to see all their favorite characters, have a little fun time, you know, and it's not like too confusing, and it'll get kids into comic books because sadly, you know, reading a comic book is not as natural as we think. It's something you have to learn and adapt to do properly, you know, and so if you catch these kids when they're young and introduce them to the concept, they're going to pick it up a lot faster than they will when they're older, which
I
means they're more
agree.
likely to read comics for life, you know? So why not start making some of that stuff and make it available in a way that's more digestible for kids?
Yeah, I have not read this yet, Todd, but I did just flip through it, and the art's fantastic. It looks just like off the wall zaniness as well. Like Ryan was just talking about, more 60s. Just I mean, it looks zany. We got Freeze, we got Penguin, we have Joker flying in a helicopter with a goofy captains, like one of those old ace pilots.
Yeah.
Slicker hats on with an arrow sticking out the side of it. But the artwork's fantastic looking. It's God, I was supposed to be that guy who did the boys, Derek Robertson. Hold on, let me verify that. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar
that
with the
sounds right.
boys. Okay, well, if it sounds right, we're going with it.
Yeah, I've heard his name come up a few times lately. I'm pretty sure he's doing that or something else similar.
Yeah, but he's
Like he
only
seems to be
they're
blowing up
selling
right
it,
now.
and like you know me, I know how to catch a good ad. And in the ads leading up to this, for this book, that's how they're selling it. It says story and artwork by Derek Robertson, but then underneath or above it in like smaller letters, it says only for 3 issues though. So after that, it's going downhill fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It reminds me of like the whole like bringing in Chip Zdarsky for one issue of crossover. Like why?
No speaking, all fighting. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You done?
Go ahead. Yeah, let me hit you up here.
So this is a good cover. I don't think it's like a great cover necessarily, but it is a number one issue. It is her introduction. So Justice League 61. I did like the cardstock variant, just
It
not
was
enough to pay an
wicked.
extra dollar.
Yeah, my LCS owner went and pulled one out of someone's subscription box just to show me what it was because I was curious, and it had like Naomi coming down hard on top of Brutus, and it was nice.
Yeah.
I like how it had that kind
Yeah.
of goldish yellow energy flare to it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I kind of liked both covers an equal amount, because this one you get some pretty cool imagery with like Batman taking up that big wide section
Yeah,
there.
with his
The way
cape out
you've
like
got
that.
yeah, you got the wings over here. Like it's a great composition piece. But I
Really
thought
is.
the other cover had like better, like you said, like colors and flair to it. Made Naomi like really look bad, you know. And so because I liked them equal amounts, I just went with the cheaper of the two. But I couldn't pass on. Boom! This
That
cover is
Frizen. Is
beautiful.
that a Frizen?
Yes.
Nice, very nice.
Oh, so good. She nails both of those characters.
E-Man, my man, what's happening?
And then of course because I like this cover better, but because it was a number one, I went ahead and grabbed both covers.
I'll tell you what,
Because I did regret not getting that card stock on a different book before.
that A cover is definitely worth framing.
Yes. And the poster version has been.
Yeah.
I went cardstock on this. I like this one a lot better than I like the other cover for it. I just love the way they've been working in his logo into like his little symbol into every cover has been great.
Yeah, now, like you notice how it's the closed wire that makes the bottom of the logo, the
Mm-hmm.
tension on the wire. I just
Bottom and
noticed that
top.
just then.
So
Oh,
you
sweet.
probably can't see it on camera, but you can
No,
actually
we
see
can
where
see
the
it.
cables wrap around his legs.
Yeah. Now I did not pick up a physical copy of that, but I will be reading it because I am in the story. It's Tom Taylor. I got to work on as long as I'm getting these variants, I got a physical copy stuff that doesn't need to be in my forever PC right now.
Yeah, and then I've been on this other kick over here. Boom.
Oh, that's sick. The big
It's so
shout
good.
out to who?
To John Cena as Peacemaker.
Nick's Kicks and Comics on YouTube, who
Oh
made
yeah.
sure that Ryan got a physical copy of that.
Yes, very true. That guy there.
I love his logo.
And then I have this one classic Peacemaker cover, right?
Yeah, that's so awesome. I'm sure, guys, if y'all missed this, seeing this cover now, and you're only hearing this, don't worry, you'll see it in every video we have coming up in the near future.
Well, there's a point to all of that. So today I hit like 2 other shops as well. They're not that great. Like they're very like old school comic shop where it's very stacks and stacks and books everywhere and like no lighting and all like bzz, bzz, bzz. And so like not a lot of modern shoppers shop there, but their like back bin stuff is incredible. So I hit those shops today looking for some more old school Peacemaker, and unfortunately couldn't find none of it. No bit of Root either. It was gone. But I was like, let's go home, and I was like, no, let's stop at this one more time. So we went ahead and stopped at the third place. I was going through all of the boxes with titles that start with P, of course. And I accidentally ran into something else that another franchise I really like. So I ended up with this. Yes. Psylord's number 2. Yeah. Yeah, I guess who got an Instagram message from me for the first time ever?
Jason.
And then they also
now? Is that what it said? Oh, that foil.
Yep, a number 1, right? And these 2 together cost me like like $2. They charged me like 50. They charged me like $1.50 on this one and like 50 cents on the other one or something. I think they were like 2 something and 3 something, but whenever I got to the register because of this other book, he was like, look, I'll just put those 2 together for like $2. So I also grabbed, boom. You thought it was the same, right?
Oh, snap. How many signatures is that? 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
Now, Ryan, honest question. Ooh, with the COA I know do you own any slabs? I know like it's hard for you to read books if they're encased and that's kind of your thing.
No, I don't own any slabs.
Would sending something off to be graded like that, for example, would that be something you think about, or would you just rather just like frame it with the numerous other ways of going about putting it in something presentable?
Yeah, probably. Because honestly, like I don't think that any of these 3 books would like really come in anywhere special. I mean, this one's got ticks up and down it. These foils are probably kind of beat up, so I don't know. I never intend to sell them like that. Yeah, like even the signature one, I don't know. How much would that make it worth it?
Well, it would be expensive because it's $25 per verified signature on top of the grading service.
Whew.
Yeah. It would cost like close to $100 with shipping and everything to have that service done versus just getting one of those snapbacks or gator guards or something like that. Or the comic skins where you can literally order a slab yourself that you can make a label for and put in there, obviously without a certified grade, but it'd still be in a slab nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's something I would have to think about because, like I said, I wasn't even looking for those books, but there was recently a Gary B episode where he got an AOK, I believe, and he pulled a Psylords cover that I don't have because I do actually have the modern run of it, Fred Van Linte's run, and he pulled a #1 cover that I didn't have, and so I wanted to get my hands on that. So that's supposed to be headed my way pretty soon. And then listening to Jason's talk last night about like the history of Valiant, I'm like, yeah, that's one of the things I really like about Valiant is they're kind of a scrappy underdog. Like their story as a company to me is just as interesting as the stories they write in their books and the characters that they spotlight in their books, and so it is a company that I do like having their books because I think there's just something, I don't know, like they really seem to capture a time. Like this is such a 90s-esque cover, it's got like the foil and the shininess and the blocky letters and stuff. And so it just seems like something very connected to their story as a company getting to where they are today,
Yeah. I couldn't even answer that question, what the last good ASM story was. I'm assuming he's asking the story. I'm like the worst person in the world at typing, no judgment here. Ask Ryan. He gets cryptic messages from me all the time. Like, yeah, all the time. Everyone does. But my thumbs move faster than I can type. But anyways, I couldn't tell you the last good ASM story, to be honest with you. I've been off ASM for so long. I have read some random trades and stuff along the way. I think the last big story that I actively participated in picking up as it came out was the Evolve or Die 12-part story, which they kind of wanted to revamp and upgrade Peter to where he was like shooting web out of his body versus web shooters, this and that. And he literally got killed, but instead of dying, he self-cocooned and evolved. And it was a little weird, but it was kind of a sign of its time. I think that was like back in the mid-2000s. Ron, I'm going to let you handle this for a second. I'm going to take Finn to hit the restroom, potty training.
Cool. Todd Christian, he was talking about the Cooperberg Peacemaker, which I have the #2 here. That's something I'm going to make a point of showing off as well. But this is the second issue. Fortunately, they have it on the DC Infinite app. So I've been working my way through it, and I agree with this statement there. Like it's got this sense of like government conspiracy because Peacemaker just wants like all the peace, but the politics tend to get in the way of that, He just wants everything to be like peaceful, but he's not taking into consideration like all the the messiness of humans that are involved in all that and everything. And so it is like it's kind of him versus the government kind of story, and so you do kind of get like this weird like Big Brother-esque kind of element to it all, I guess. Yeah, I can imagine Pocan Joe. Like everything would just be reflecting metal covers, glass covers, foil variants, everything like that. So the 90s were a very special kind of time. Yeah. Yes, have fun. The comic intellect. Yeah, so I picked up, let me see. I've been talking a lot about Wonder Girl. Not super fond of that name, but whatever, I liked it better when she was Yara Flor, Wonder Woman. But I am excited for this book. I really enjoyed her story in the I enjoyed her story in Future State. It was 2 parts. It was just like a lot of fun. Like she reminds me of like real people in the sense like she was going into this underworld and stuff, and like she was just like a lot of fun to be around, a lot of intrigue, like learning about new things. It kind of reminded me in spirit. It feels very similar to Ram V's the first issue of Layla Starr, the many deaths of Layla Starr. You're in this world that's kind of surrounded by this pantheon of gods that you don't really know. So you're learning about them as you're moving through the story, and Yara Flor is like really great at and even Death and Layla Starr, like they're these characters that are very headstrong. So they're constantly moving the story forward, but there's all these quirky things happening around them. Both of these characters like meet a ghost character that's kind of like bouncy and jovial and feels young. And so that makes the story a lot of fun because you're in a place you don't know. So you're learning about things around you, but there's somebody there making it fun. And there's also somebody there driving the story and the plot. So I'm excited to see what they do with Yara Flor and Wonder Girl. I also liked, she felt human also because in Future State, they had Wonder Woman, Superman. And in that you get like a more not adult, but like young adult kind of vibe out of Yara Flor, and I really like that because like she was struggling to find her place in the world, and so it just made her feel very very real and very human because like she was able to like know the mission and she knew what to do when she had a mission. But then in this other story, we see her where she kind of doesn't have a mission at the moment. It means she's lost. She's looking for her place in the world as another Wonder Woman character when you already have so many others before her. And whenever she's whenever she's looking for her place in the world and she feels unsettled, we also see that like she's kind of bored, so she just goes to a bar to drink, to drown her sorrows and how she doesn't have her own spot in the world. And that felt human. Like I could totally relate to her on that level. And but I thought she was a lot of fun in the battle with the Hydra thing, and she was fun when she went into the underworld, and she's just like real headstrong because she's on a mission. She knows what to do. So I'm excited to see what happens with her in Wonder Girl #1 now.
Yeah, and that was one of the cool things about our introduction to her in Future State, where I wish we would have had a more expanded, self-contained story. The 2 issues they did, like you pointed out, it was a lot. There was a lot of
Hmm.
content, a lot of character development that kind of got pushed into 2 issues. But if you look at her as a whole, we had her in 3 separate titles with the Wonder Woman title, the Superman Wonder Woman title, and the Justice League title. So if you put them in chronological order, the writers did a really fantastic job of writing growth through those titles, being that they weren't set in the same year. So that
Yeah.
was something that was actually really noticeable if you're somebody that was actually reading a lot of the future state stuff and clocking in where they fit on the timeline and stuff. It was well done. It really was.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that kind of addresses too what Poke and Joe say in there. Like, that is my one concern, her only being in Wonder Girl. Like we're only getting one aspect of her character, and what worked for her so well in Future State was us getting like 3 different kind of perspectives on her character. And so I wonder how successful she'll be if they don't um, you know rapidly integrate her into the greater DC universe so we can get some appearances in other places and see other sides of her.
This is kind of an odd place to be too, because the Wonder Woman title, her Wonder Woman title in Future State, she was clearly early on, like really early on, and us kind of expecting the timeline to deviate from the inevitable conclusion of Future State itself. Like, where are they going to deviate with her? And being that she's kind of an early on introduction Future State, they might be able to
Yeah.
deviate really fast with her. Because I mentioned this, I might have mentioned it Sunday, but I did mention it on my new comic book day video that I dropped. But I'm ready to see her side by side with Jonathan ASAP. I want to see their introduction to each other, because that was an awesome duo. And there's been numerous times, like with Frank Miller or in the New 52, when Superman and Wonder Woman were an item. And we don't have that main continuity, but we do have the option to have Yara and Jonathan at least have an awesome friendship or something. Or they had a great dynamic together in Justice League, and I'm excited to get back to at least the foundations of that friendship. It was awesome.
Well, how hard would it be to drop her into Tom Taylor's Superman book, Son of Kal-El? Is that what it's called?
Superman, Son of Kal-El. Yeah, it's going to just be the
Yeah,
main Superman title, but I think they got a little bit of cold feet, and they're re-taglining it Son of Kal-El to separate it from. They're
yeah.
taking
I
the
thought it was
actual
kind of
book.
weird. Like, why?
Yeah,
Yeah, because Superman and action have been separate anyway. Like, Philip
but
Kennedy
that.
Johnson just like really put them together, but you could separate that again pretty easily. So to completely rebrand it is kind of odd, but
Yara
but I don't
is
know. It'd be
real.
kind of cool to see Yara
Oh yeah.
Flor pop up in Son of Kal-El and have Taylor write him or write her.
There we go. We got. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Here. Of course, if she's of age.
And I wasn't skipping over PJ King, but yeah, Peacemaker and Suicide Squad right now, like that's where I was introduced to this character, and yeah, immediately pretty endearing, and I'm excited to see how John Cena pulls him off because I think that might be perfect casting. I can't imagine anybody else playing that character better, and the fact that HBO's already greenlit 3 seasons of a show for him is tells you something. That means they like something that they're seeing on screen in the movie.
Here you go, Pocan. Oh, request for Ryan. Can you show the full design T-shirt DBZ you wear now with standing and full screen? By the way, nice tees you have there. Oh, he wants to see your shirt.
Yeah,
DBZ
that was a
shirt.
lot of detail. It's just the whole family, or I guess like the whole cast. It's cool. It came like in this style, you know, kind of that faded look. Like it's not real, like a real bold print.
Yeah,
It's kind of got like a faded style to it. Like it's like an old like family photo or something, you know.
yeah. It's Superman, son of Kal-El. The main Superman title, Flash, is going to be taken over and headlined by only Jonathan. You're going to find Clark depowered and imprisoned on War World, and all of those events and stories will be taking place inside of the pages of Action. But DC got cold feet instead of just letting him frontline a book titled strictly Superman. Still, the numbering's still going to be there. It's still the Superman title, but they're making sure to put the subtitle "Son of Kal-El" on it. I guess they don't want
Yeah,
to get like people complaining about them selling a false product. So there's a back and forth to the strategy behind putting it on there. But I'm just excited
yeah,
for Jonathan to front run, man. I think that that's what we really need right now is to get more people excited about. Because I mean, you hear people complain about Superman a lot, and I'd be happy to make those arguments against their arguments, and they don't even read Superman for the most part or understand the character when you hear them doing it. But hopefully getting Jonathan to front one for a while will get some people interested enough to try it out and see what they've been missing and still trash talking at the same time. Because Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing really amazing things with the characters.
yeah, yeah. I love how he writes both characters with an impact on each other. Like I don't know. There's a lot of times you read where they're like, "I'm going to introduce so and it's going to like really shake up, you know, the other character or something." You know, it's like no, it just seems like two people in a book now. um, you know, but this one has really felt like both of those characters are having an impact on each other, and it's going to be interesting to see what it's like when they separate. You know, and is Clark going to be any different? You know, without Jonathan right there at his feet? And at the same time, now Jonathan's going to have the freedom to go too far, you know, to pull
Yeah,
a Man of Steel kind of moment at the end
that'd
there,
be
you know.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see
cautionary tale.
how much they change, yeah, whenever they're separated.
And see this de-aging thing, I've never understood people's gripe with it. I don't understand the people that want this 8-year-old super kid running around. Like there's no story to tell there. Like that's like a mini series story kind of thing, but there's no real story to tell with a little kid. And I made the argument one time with having him age up to have him actually older. You now put him in a classroom with Damien finally, because him and Damien were the same age physically, but Damien's a grown man. Like he's a grown man with child tendencies, whereas Jonathan was a child with child tendencies. Like Damien's been down through there. So aging up Jonathan does not cheapen their friendship, but it actually puts them more on an even playing field with each other and kind of makes that dynamic between them two even better. You know, I thought it was an absolutely smart move.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any issues. I mean, I've never read any of the Super Sun stuff and all of that, so I don't know. The only interaction I know of those two together is from Action Comics, but you know, I liked based on that scene and the other things that are going on between like Superman and the new Robin book, you know, like I thought it all works, you know. They feel like you said they feel like more similarly aged
Mm-hmm.
in this respect because like Damien seems just a little bit beyond John, but it leads to great questions of like what's the next step, you know. So, it's kind of interesting.
Look, I cloned myself.
It's going to be the Clone Saga of Legion of Comics. All right, well, I got to go pick up some kids from school, so I'm going to have to get out of
Let's head
here.
out. All right. So yeah, everybody, be sure to go hit up your shops. Check out what's coming out this week. A lot of good stuff from DC. There's tons more coming out. the independent department, and I'm sure there might be one or two books worth reading from Marvel. They try to give you at least one a week. And until next time, guys, be sure to check out the Cosmic Campfire, dropping content daily, as well as you're already here, so I assume you already know what's going on. And come hang out with us Friday morning. Be live, hopefully for another long running stream, so that we can hang out with as many people as possible. And then every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, join us for At Week's End, where we actually spoil these books and talk about what was good, what was bad, and why. So until next time, guys, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.